Well, he attack me. But Jaden Chase, they have to make the fans them know what really are going on.
Up Move Nation. Now welcome to the channel. Yeah man, Jaden Chase. Another one we're gonna bring on another reasoning on the topic of current affairs. So if you're new to the channel, just a pass through, but when find the reasoning insightful, well I'm suggesting that you click the subscribe icon and then put a like on the video. Now let's get right into the reasoning. Now nation, Prime Minister Andrew Holness has finally confirmed that the government is moving towards ending all lockdown protocols across the island, a removal of the Disaster Risk Management Act and the protocols put in place, an end to the 8 o'clock curfews and an end to the no movement days. And of course the article will be pinned so people can visit it and read for themselves. The nation, the Prime Minister was quoted as saying, eventually, protection from Big C-19 will have to be a personal responsibility as the government cannot continue the containment protocols forever. And truth be told, it has always been a personal responsibility. Mr. Holness went on to say, we can't keep locking down the country forever. We can't keep the curfews forever. We cannot prevent people from gathering forever. And as we have seen, via the scandals in the tabloids, not even his own members of parliament or cabinet have been able to comply or follow the protocols put in place by the Prime Minister himself as him speak of the gatherings. And to date, since the protocols were put in place, some of the biggest events held on the island have either been held by elected officials or entities sponsored, invested in by elected officials, such as the Mocha Fest, the Mayor Kingston and theme party, as recent as Floyd and theme situation at the hotel. The Prime Minister also sought to add warnings in his statement, as he said, and I quote, at some point in time we have to remove the measures, and how will the population keep safe then? And I will state this, it has never been the protocols put in place by the government that has kept the nation safe. Blessings are not man-made. He also pointed to the people that he claimed were not adhering to the protocols to contain what has been considered as an outbreak. He said, it becomes your personal responsibility. Your responsibility to wear your mask every day. And I would think he would have stated that if you're in public or, in spaces confined and you have to share it with other individuals, but the Prime Minister just said every day, your responsibility to sanitize. And I agree with that statement. Your responsibility to maintain an awareness of social distance and maintain your personal space. Now this is where the warning gets strange. He said it was also your personal, and I quote, personal responsibility to take the vax because, and I quote, he can't keep locking down the country to protect you all the time, he stressed. Protect us? People have asked for the government to step in where crime and violence is concerned, and to date, no results. He went on to say, at some point in time, we have to transition out of this, quote-unquote, situation taking place worldwide. And to be able to do that, we need to be at least at a level of vax that can protect the vulnerable. And he said, those people who preach free choice must know that they are not free of responsibility. And the Prime Minister said, and he said this in Patois. The article was even written in Patois. If you not take the vax, are your business. I have a duty to fulfill that is going around to every nook and cranny and explain to the population the situation. No nation, truth be told, the situation is not what the nation asked for an explanation of. They are saying that the solution presented by the government has not been fully researched. The information and the solution being presented by the government has not been disclosed to the public. And the disclosure of that information is what the people are saying they have always wanted. And as the Prime Minister stressed that it was a personal responsibility, it is the truth. And as we have said, the people who preach free choice have never said that they were free from responsibility. But they have said what the Prime Minister is now echoing, that the choice ultimately is with each individual going forward. Of course, the situation taking place worldwide is of major concern and has affected all facets of day-to-day movements across the entire world, whether you talk about work, business, or just day-to-day affairs. Every single sector has been affected in some way, shape, or form. But it has also been exposed by key government entities such as hospitals and our security force members that the protocols put in place were never fully calculated and security was never considered. The pressure being applied to the healthcare system was never being considered. And how will this affect the population itself? That was never considered. And protocols of this magnitude, you have to factor in all of that. We cannot use international statistics to run something that is taking place locally. Remember, what took place in Jamaica started overseas and was allowed to enter onto the island. And was still not, up to this point in time, nobody has stepped forward to say that person is responsible, or nobody has stepped forward to claim responsibility. All the Prime Minister has stated is that the closure of our borders would affect our economy, saying that whether it is the GDP, gross domestic produce, or just the amount of cash being brought in by tourism would be affected. And it is true. We are not saying that what Mr. Holness stated in that press conference is not true. It would affect our economy. But for how long? If we had closed borders to international visitors when the situation started, up to this point, we would be better off now. Look at Cayman. Cayman did that very same thing, and they are better off now. While Holness and his administration is stressing that after this, we'll have to be wearing masks. In Cayman, that is not the situation. People have, of course, as he said, took it upon themselves as a personal responsibility to do so, but the government never need to forward out and impose certain type of protocols. The only thing they did was to lock down them country from international visitors and say if the population is good now, all we need to do is keep them alright and don't bring in nobody. We have nothing. At one point in time, Trinidad refused to even accept its own nationals coming from certain country. Instead of the protocols of the Disaster Risk Management Act, maybe those border control protocols were needed. To date, America has recently announced that they'll be allowing visitors from Europe to visit America. Europeans could not visit America. No. And Americans could not visit Canada. I'm not ask you, and I'm not going to read. I tell you, the borders were closed to Americans. Them couldn't drive or fly into Vancouver, Toronto, or British Columbia. All major countries enforce some kind of protocols of that nature, except the Jamaicans, who closed the border for probably about a week, if that long. And now, it has been made by state officials to make it look like it was the people who brought the situation upon themselves. And that is a lie. That is a major lie being propagated in the media. It is not the citizens of the Jamaican island who created the situation now faced by them. That situation was created on international soil, and it wasn't even brought here from the country of origin. After it spread across certain major first world countries, we allowed citizens from those countries to enter onto our island. And now those same countries are saying that without following certain measures, certain protocols put in place, the countries that they have visited are no longer able to visit them. This is clearly a double standard, even in international law. The comment section open. Talk to me in the comment section. Vice the one called Jaden Chase, the dancehall correspondent, the Gaza representative, and I just remind you now, if you're new to the channel, new to the movement, just a pass through. But you like the reason, and of course you like the point of view, and I'm suggesting do that. You click the subscribe icon, then the bell icon, and put it on all. And this is how you know you'll be notified of all fresh content as soon as fresh content is uploaded and made available for you right here upon the platform. The like icon is also in close proximity to the share icon, that's the thumb. Click the like icon and then use the arrow, that's the share icon, and share the video upon all social media platforms. Get the word out there. And to the reason again, the comment section open 24/7. Just be respectful and mindful of the guidelines. Yes, always with me, never lack yet. Just be respectful and mindful of the guidelines. But you know the thing, and my sentiments for you and yours is going to live, love, and prosper. Stay tuned. And to the reason again.